Yo, what is up YouTube? Lee the Captain here, back again with another YouTube video on how much QNT to potentially become a quant millionaire. And quick disclaimer, these are all hypothetical scenarios. There is absolutely no guarantee that they will happen, and also on top of that, I am not a financial advisor. The current price of QNT at the time of this recording is around $107 and has a market cap of around $1.6 billion. And the circulating supply of QNT varies from website to website. However, I am going to go with thecoinperspective.com. And with that being said, let's take a look at some hypothetical millionaire scenarios. If QNT were to return back to its all-time high price, it would be around a 3x. One QNT would be worth around $427, and you would need invested as of right now around $336,000. And $336,000, yeah, that's a lot, I agree. And the thing is, QNT just hasn't been oversold as other cryptos out there. You know, other cryptos out there, they're down 20x, 15x from their all-time high price. But QNT hasn't gone down that much. In fact, it has had quite a resurgence ever since it went to that $45, $50 range. You know, a lot of people started scooping up on the dip and the price of QNT went up. And if anything, this shows the conviction that people actually have when it comes to QNT. QNT hasn't dumped as much as other cryptos out there. And also on top of that, a 3x just to return back to its all-time high price, I don't think that's bad whatsoever. And the next milestone I want to take a look at is $25 billion market cap. That would be around a 15x from here. One QNT would be worth around $1,718, and you would need invested right here, right now, around $66,000. And $66,000, yeah, that's a lot, but a 15x just to go to a $25 billion market cap, I mean, that's insane in my opinion. That's pretty good gains. And keep in mind, QNT has never ever reached that high of a market cap before, but a lot of other cryptos with far less fundamentals have actually reached that and beyond. So I don't think QNT in the future reaching a $25 billion market cap is really out of the realm of possibility. At a $50 billion market cap, it would be around a 31x from here. One QNT would be worth around $3,400, and you would need invested right here, right now, considering the current price of QNT is around $107, you would need around $32,000. Now, some people must be saying, oh, what? You know, $50 billion market cap, that's so much. But keep in mind, Shiba Inu, a meme coin, last year was able to reach an all-time high market cap of $40+ billion. And again, it's a meme coin we're talking about here. It's not some sort of crypto with amazing revolutionary, fundamentals. None of that whatsoever. It is Shiba Inu. And if SHIB was able to reach 40+ billion, why can't QNT at least go to 50 billion? That's the way I think about it. And the next milestone is a $70 billion market cap, which is a 44x from here. One QNT would be worth around $4,800, and you would need around $22,000 worth of QNT. And an even bigger milestone is a $100 billion market cap, which is around a 63x from here. And the reason why I included this was just because psychologically, a lot of people like to say, oh, $100 billion, so I just decided to include it. However, besides that point, if QNT were to reach a $100 billion market cap, it would be a 63x from here. One QNT would be worth around $6,800, and you would need around $15,800 worth of QNT. And now again, I'm going to use another meme coin example. Dogecoin last year was able to reach an all-time high market cap of $88+ billion. I mean, just imagine that. So if Dogecoin is able to do that, why can't QNT at least go to $100 billion? Think about this. What is the utility of Dogecoin? Just really think about that. Before Elon Musk bought Twitter and before there are speculations of Dogecoin maybe somehow being implemented to Twitter, before all of that, what really is the use case of Dogecoin, especially last year? What was its use case? And my knock on Dogecoin for a long time is how they don't even want to have a use case, right? If you truly think about it, Shiba Inu is at least trying. Doge looks like they don't even care. And strictly from just a last year point of view, when I take a look at Dogecoin, something basically with no utility reaching an $88+ billion market cap, it's so ridiculous. And that shows the power of the crypto space overall. And with that being said, if Dogecoin's able to do that, why can't QNT with its amazing fundamentals at least reach a $100 billion market cap? That's just the way I think about it. And I truly do think that QNT can reach this in the future. That's not financial advice again, but I truly do believe that. And that is just the conviction I have when it comes to QNT and the Quant network. And now I want to talk about some even bigger milestones. If QNT were to reach a $500 billion market cap, it would be a 318x from here. One QNT would be worth $34,400, and you would need around $3,100 worth of QNT. And keep in mind, a $500 billion market cap is not even higher than Ethereum's all-time high market cap. It's actually lower. And I would not be surprised if in the future QNT was able to reach a $500 billion market cap. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. Now, do I see this happening in the short or even medium term? No, I don't, but that's just the way I think about it. And there is no guarantee that this will happen, of course. However, I really do think the sky is the limit when it comes to QNT. And a even bigger milestone is a $1 trillion market cap. If QNT were to reach a $1 trillion market cap, it would be a 637x from here. One QNT would be worth $68.8 thousand, and you would need around $1,600 worth of QNT. And some people must be saying, oh, $1 trillion? Oh, that's a lot. That's crazy. And I agree. That is crazy. That is a lot. $1 trillion is a lot. But keep in mind, if there is large scale institutional adoption when it comes to the Quant network, and I'm talking about, let's say in the future, there are thousands upon thousands of institutions using the Quant network, I don't see why this is really that unrealistic. Just think about this. Institutions can facilitate growth at a much larger scale. They have the capital, they have the resources, and they have the volume to accommodate that type of growth. And now I want to talk about several reasons why I am bullish on the future of the QNT token. And the first reason why I am bullish on the future of the QNT token is because of the Quant network. And the Quant network is made up of the Overledger OS and the Overledger network. And the Overledger OS is not a blockchain. It instead sits on top of multiple blockchains and allows individuals and institutions to build multi-chain applications. And multi-chain applications are applications that are built on top of multiple blockchains instead of just one. And an example of a multi-chain application is this. So let's say an individual or institution wants to build an application on the Overledger OS. They can build an application that, for example, takes advantage of the speed of the Stellar blockchain, while at the same time taking advantage of the strength of the Bitcoin blockchain, hence the name multi-chain application. There is multiple blockchains. They don't have to be stuck building an application on a singular blockchain. That's just how amazing the Overledger OS is. And the Overledger OS has amazing and beneficial qualities. First of all, individuals and institutions can start using blockchain with just 3 lines of code. It's so simple. Essentially, it's a plug and play deal. And on top of that, they have choice, interoperability, flexibility, and not being locked in. They also avoid buying additional infrastructure. I mean, who wants to buy additional infrastructure, right? And also on top of that, the benefits include being able to comply to security and regulation and being able to use existing technical skills and resources. And this all can be started in just less than 8 minutes. I mean, that is just so mind-blowing in my opinion. And keep in mind, usually institutions, they don't want to adopt new technology that's overly complicated, that's hard. They don't want any of that. Institutions want something that is plug and play, something that they can adopt and just implement to their existing ways. And the Overledger OS allows just that. That is just, again, so amazing. And I truly do believe that the future of cryptos will be institutional adoption. And the fact that the Overledger OS is facilitating that, it's just the real deal. It's the real deal, in my opinion. Something to behold. And now that I've talked about the Overledger OS, I now want to talk about the Overledger network. The Overledger network is made up of the Overledger OS users, and the Overledger network has its own marketplace. So for example, users of the Overledger OS can share their data, their resources, and their apps and monetize them. And now that you all have heard about the Quant network, I think it's fair to assume that the Quant network is absolutely wonderful. And with that being said, I now want to talk about the second reason as to why I am bullish on the future of QNT. And the second reason is because of QRC 721, which is Quant's very own NFT standard. And the reason why I believe QRC 721 can be so special in the future is because nowadays, most NFTs are minted using Ethereum's ERC 721 token standard. And by the way, ERC 721 has a lot of issues. Security is a big problem when it comes to ERC 721. In fact, if we take a look at this, unless adequately designed, ERC 721 smart contracts have been subject to hacks. Fraudsters as well have found a myriad of ways to steal digital wallet credentials and gain access to administrative controls, costing the industry nearly $87 million in 2022. I mean, that is absolutely insane. And also, developers must know Solidity, a programming language for Ethereum, to execute robust, well-designed ERC-721 tokens and ensure the code is validated and credentialed. I mean, it's just too complicated in my opinion. There's no need for it to be this hard. And last but not least, I think this is the biggest weakness, by the way, when it comes to ERC-721. However, let's jump straight into it. ERC-721 tokens lack interoperability and are unable to interact seamlessly with other blockchains other than Ethereum. This restriction can potentially limit the transactions of digital assets on the metaverse. And all of this is very alarming, especially when we consider that the metaverse industry, according to McKinsey, can potentially be worth $5 trillion by 2030. And with ERC-721, it can potentially limit transactions on an industry that can be worth $5 trillion in the future. That's absolutely not acceptable. However, with QRC-721, this problem is eliminated completely. With QRC-721, Quant has essentially found a solution for NFTs on the metaverse. Something, by the way, again, that can be worth $5 trillion in the future. That is just absolutely mind-blowing. And if we're talking about solely NFTs, the future potential growth of NFTs, not including the metaverse, the NFT market is projected to be worth over $211 billion by 2030. You know, a lot of people like to think that Bored Apes are the peak of NFTs. And a lot of people also like to think that Mutant Apes are the peak of NFTs. But that's completely ridiculous. That's not true in my opinion. Yeah, NFTs are down right now. You know, that's undeniable. But I think NFTs are just getting started. I think what we saw of NFTs last year was nowhere near its true potential. And the fact that Quant has their very own NFT standard, QRC-721, is just absolutely fantastic because let's face it, right? I think it is just way better in every single category than Ethereum's ERC-721. I think QRC-721 will lead the way in the future, and I think it will be a major catalyst for Quant moving forward. It will be the real deal, and I think ERC-721 will disappear off into the abyss, especially after QRC-721 picks up. I truly do believe that. Last but not least, the third reason why I am bullish on the QNT token is because of the QNT token use case. If we take a look at the QNT token use case, it can first be used for enterprise licenses. QNT tokens must be provided to Quant Network in exchange for an annual license. Price of the access will be fixed in fiat, and the number of tokens needed will vary depending on the price of QNT. Enterprise license fees will be determined on the basis of the number of users, number of employees, application type, and volume of transactions. Coming in at number 2, the QNT token can also be used for developer licenses. Developers will be able to obtain an annual license to develop applications on Overledger through the purchase of QNT tokens equivalent to a fixed fiat amount. The developer wallet will be used to access the platform for the license period, as well as develop, sign, and publish applications. Coming in at number 3, platform fees. In addition to the license fees, a platform fee calculated as a percentage of the license fee in QNT will be payable by all users and developers. And coming in at number 4, identity and account. A minimum QNT holding is put in place for every participant on the Overledger ecosystem. The wallet storing QNT is your identity. The private key is your password, and with the license fee, you are assigned a BPI key. And coming in at number 5, transaction processing. QNT tokens are used to validate, sign, and encrypt every transaction that flows through Overledger. Every enterprise client, developer, user, and application validates each transaction using their QNT linked to their ID and account. No transaction can flow through Overledger without being securely validated by QNT tokens. And coming up at number 6, application users. Users will need to hold QNT tokens to be able to run multi-chain applications. The license key will expire annually and must be renewed with more QNT tokens. Users will need to deposit an amount of QNT that will be used to pay fees to gateways for processing. Users also deposit QNT tokens to cover the cost of any penalties for raising incorrect disputes. And last but not least, number 7, gateways and staking. To run a gateway, there is an annual fee fixed in fiat to be paid in QNT tokens. Gateways earn QNT for transaction processing. Additional QNT tokens can be staked to increase the capacity of the gateway. The more the gateway operator stakes in the variable deposit, the more requests they can accept, resulting in more QNT earned. I think with all that being said, it's fair to say that the QNT token is not short of use cases whatsoever. And also, when it comes to the supply of the QNT token, it actually has less of a supply than Bitcoin. So just let that sink in. There is more Bitcoin out there in the world than QNT. That's insane to think about, especially when I consider how much use case the QNT token actually has. If you think about Bitcoin, what is the use case of Bitcoin really? It's just a store of value for the most part. It doesn't really do much other than that. But when it comes to QNT, it actually has amazing fundamentals and use case. And hands down, I am choosing QNT over Bitcoin any day of the week. I will not buy Bitcoin over QNT. I will always choose QNT over Bitcoin. I just think it's a way better pick for me. And my buying strategy when it comes to QNT is $2 cost average. And what does that mean? I buy a set amount on a set schedule. So it doesn't matter if the price of QNT pumps, it doesn't matter if it dumps, I just buy anyways. And in fact, I started buying QNT at around $170. And a lot of people started roasting me. They were like, why'd you buy QNT at around $170? Oh, what's wrong with you? But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that's the beauty about dollar cost averaging. It doesn't matter what the price is. I focus on the long term. So QNT can be $170. It doesn't matter. It can be $200. It can be $300. It doesn't matter to me. I just buy anyways. And if we take a look at all-time great investors, for example, in the case of Warren Buffett, what buying strategy does he use? Warren Buffett uses dollar cost averaging, and dollar cost averaging has worked for Warren Buffett for the past 50 plus years. And in my opinion, it's also going to work for the next 50 years and beyond. And the way I think about it is that if it works for Warren Buffett, why can't it work for me? And the way I view the QNT token is that it has a lot of longevity. And what do I mean by longevity? When I take a look at other cryptos out there, I don't know if they're going to be around 5 to 10 years from now for the most part. Who knows? There are coins out there that are based on hype, that are based on fans. You never really know how long they're going to last. But when I take a look at the QNT token, I truly do believe that it will be around 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, because it has an actual use case. That is why I believe in the QNT token a lot. I think it's here to stay, and I think it will be amazing in the long term. QNT all the way. I am bullish on QNT. And let's do a flip to celebrate me being bullish on QNT. Yeah! And that's been it for today's YouTube video. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the video, and make sure to smash that like button. Also, make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest and greatest quant news and content. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.